Our next speaker is Sister Sharifa Al-Khatib. Sister Sharifa has been an activist for 25 years in many fields and areas. She has worked as a teacher here in this country and overseas, both in elementary school and later teaching in college. She has a master's in comparative religion, and she presently works as the managing editor for the American Journal of Islamic Social Scientists. And as a footnote, she ran recently for the Board of Education in the Fairfax County here in the DC area. And her topic will be education.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى أهله وصحبه أجمعين. I need to talk louder? Okay. I'm a bit short. I'm very happy that I was asked to speak today about education, because I believe that education is one of the most important areas that Muslims have to address. And while our objective, our final objective, is not just to become part of the system that we experience now and that we see, our objective, our final objective, is to create our own Islamic systems, and not only create Islamic systems for Muslims, but to look at all the other people who are sharing this country with us as potential Muslims. And if we look at them as potential Muslims and feel that we have the obligation, which Allah has told us, to try to bring them into the same style of thinking, into the same way of behaving, into the same objectives that we have, then we have to have some way that we can communicate with them and some way we can work with them. And in that long-range process of making America Muslim, all of America Muslim, then we have to have some actual short-range goals. We have to have some way of dealing with them and know how we're going to deal with them and in which ways, and be very calculated about it, or else we will not accomplish our goals. Is education political? Yes, it is. Education is extremely political because it shapes our minds. It shapes our idea of who we are and what we are. It shapes our ideas of what we can be. Yesterday when I was listening to one of the other speakers, I became amused because it reminded me of a situation with my own little daughter. It wasn't a speaker, actually. It was a person who stood up from the audience and said, "We're not American, we're Muslim." Well, I've always brought my children up, alhamdulillah, than we do now. The way to get recognition, the way to get acceptance, the way to be able to be in a position to express Muslim concepts is to volunteer. First thing is the PTA. Most Muslims are not involved in the PTA whatsoever, the Parent-Teacher Association. They don't even go to the meetings. They don't know what's going on with their kids in the public school. Second thing are the school board meetings. School board meetings are public. In a lot of cities, they have them on television, which is wonderful. You don't even have to go out of your house. Just turn it on and find out what they're doing with your kids in the public school. It comes on every month. If it doesn't come on, make an effort to go at least 3 or 4 times a year to the school board meeting and find out what they're talking about, what their ideas are. Okay, you can become an office assistant, you can become a reading assistant, you can become a library assistant and try to buy Islamic books or get them from organizations and give them to your local school library. You should try, and we should all be involved in developing Arabic language courses in the public schools, because one way of introducing non-Muslims to Islam is to have them come and be a part of Arabic courses, Arabic language courses. And don't forget, classical Arabic is the Quranic Arabic. So when we say Arabic courses, we're talking about classical Arabic, and our real agenda is Quranic Arabic. And that's a good way of introducing Islam to non-Muslims. We should try to be on the book review committees. There are book review committees for every type of subject, for the social studies books, for the literature books. Muslims need to join those book review committees and see what they're writing and have an input into how the curriculum will be. The book companies do listen to these book review committees, and they have to adjust, because if they don't, they won't be bought for that school system. We should be involved in the family life education. In Fairfax County, for instance, they just passed a new family life education curriculum for, not the curriculum, but the plans for the curriculum that are teaching our kids horrific things. For instance, they're going to teach our children from first grade and second grade and third grade that they may or may not accept a friendly touch from their parents. And if they don't like the touch, they should stand up loudly and say no. They're teaching them this from kindergarten. And unless we know what...
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Malik Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amen. The English translation of that is, in the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful. All praises is for Allah, Lord of all the worlds, the most compassionate, most merciful, master of the day of judgment. You alone, O Allah, we worship, and you alone, O Allah, we ask for help. Guide us along the straight path, the path of those you have blessed, and not those you are displeased with, or those who are astray. And with that, I welcome you to another episode of the History, Community Life, and Diversity of Most Americans in New England. I'm Hasson, Rashid, your host, and I'll be here for approximately 25 more minutes. You know, it's always excellent being here with you, and it's an awful great achievement to come into your lives like we do here daily at CCTV. And with that, I extend the universal international cordial of peace out to you in the Arabic language, and that is Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. Okay, I'm glad you are enjoying that opening video. It was a video, Sharifa Al-Khatib, and she was presenting on the goal of Muslim education in America. You know, education is our number one goal, and without that, we would be nowhere. So we're going to try to get back to that video and share a little more information on what that video was all about. But first, I'd like to first take out my condolence to rhythm and blues soul singer James Ingram, who brought joy to many of households in his days. Well, he passed away. And so we send up our deepest condolence to his family, friends, and especially his fans. That's rhythm and blues soul singer James Ingram. I tried to get some music on, some of his music on, but you know, sometimes they accuse us of infringement, copyright infringement. So I don't know what the policy is about that, but eventually I'll find out. So once again, condolences go to, deepest sympathies go out to rhythm and blues soul singer James Ingram. He died at 63 years old. Okay. Massachusetts Governor Baker planning to visit a Boston mosque. The Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker is planning to visit a Boston mosque. Organizers say the visit Friday to the Islamic Society of Boston Cultural Center, the largest mosque in New England, is the first by a sitting Republican Massachusetts governor. Muslims are mandated to attend weekly prayers each Friday. The service typically begins with invocation, 1 p.m., followed by a half-hour sermon and a brief congregational prayer. Organizers say Baker will sit among congregants for the sermon and observe the prayer, then speak briefly to the community. Approximately 1,500 congregants come to the center for each weekly prayer service. That's 1,500. That's 1,500 congregants come to the center for each weekly prayer service. Yusafi Vali, the center's public affairs director, said he hopes the visit marks the beginning of a strong relationship between the governor and the state's Muslims community. So that's going to take place, I guess, this Friday at the big mosque. That's the big mosque in Roxbury, right next to Roxbury Community College. You can't miss it. So if you'd like to see the governor address the Muslim community, you're invited to come on out to that occasion. That's right on Malcolm X Boulevard, right across from the T stop, and it's the big building, huge building right next to Roxbury Community College. Okay, Medford is getting its first mosque. All the Muslims north of Cambridge are celebrating the fact that a brand new mosque is going to open up soon in Medford. That's Medford, Massachusetts, okay? The mosque will open in the longtime Gaffey Funeral Home space on High Street. Medford, Mass. The city will soon have its first mosque as the Islamic Cultural Center of Medford is opening in the former Gaffney Funeral Space on High Street. The center brought the property in November, but must make some adjustment to the space ahead of expected opening in less than a month. According to fundraisers for the mosque, it will offer civic education, workshops for community members, a weekend Islamic school, a day senior program, and prayers and spiritual programs. So when that occasion for the grand opening comes, you can bet I'll share it with you right here at History, Community Life, and Diversity of Muslim Americans in New England, Eastern Massachusetts, New England. Okay, it is not known whether the funeral home will relocate or permanently close. Gaffney spent over a century in the historic Isaac Hall House. The address for the community, the address for the upcoming mosque is 43 High Street, alhamdulillah, and I know a lot of people are happy about that. Okay, and so am I. Okay, I'd like to, I got another little video I want to share with you, but this is a video about halal certification. You know what halal certification, halal is a religious sanctification of the food that we consume, the things that we drink. It's a religious certification, and there was some trouble that this particular company is having with the halal certification and people recognizing halal certification. And it was over a chocolate bar, and I'm not going to say the name, but I'm going to put the video for you for your enjoyment. Okay, you may enjoy this, or you may come out disgruntled or something because of the way that these folks are adjusting to halal certification. Okay, let's get this out. It's a short video, ain't too long.
Toblerone's halal certification has triggered far-right reactions. Many people, including some politicians in Europe, are calling for a boycott of the iconic Swiss chocolate. Many others responded to the criticism. Toblerone received its halal certification in April, but the recent widespread outrage was sparked by a Swiss tabloid story titled "Toblerone is now halal." The company has said the chocolate's recipe and production process has not changed. The move was intended to meet its international customers' needs. So what does it mean to be halal certified? Halal is an Arabic word meaning lawful, permissible, allowed, or legal. Both Muslims and Jews have dietary laws defined in their holy books, excluding foods containing pork and requiring the butcher to slaughter animals properly. Halal certification also excludes foods containing alcohol.
Okay, so some people, they found out that that chocolate bar was halal and lawful according to the Islamic dietary laws, and they started boycotting the company. And to me, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, let's get back to that opening video, and it was about these activists advocating using public schools to convert Americans to Islam. Okay, students at the Maryland La Plata High School were ordered to copy the Islamic creed Shahada, which states in part, "There's no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah." One worksheet distributed distributed by the school stated, "Most Muslim faiths is stronger than the average Christian." Lessons for students at the Mount Ridge High School in West Virginia included lessons on Islam as part of a unit on world religion, which encouraged students to study and identify with Islamic's key religious belief. Assignment given in class included writing the Islamic conversion creed, Shahada, which states, "There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah." In Arabic, reading chapters from the Quran and fasting for 24 hours while giving lunch money and food to a food bank in order to emphasize with Muslims observing Ramadan. The Council on American Islamic Relations, CARE, an Islamic group with extensive ties to extremist Islamic organizations has relationship with the public school districts in at least 3 states, including California, Washington, Minnesota. CARE also accuses school districts of failing to prevent Islamophobia, thereby necessitating an Islamophobia bullying initiative developed by CARE. The Freedoms of Conscience Defense Fund alleged in legal suit that CARE relationship with San Diego Unified School District creates a subtle discrimination scheme that establishes Muslim students as a privileged group. So you can see that there is a need for Islamic education, but you see that some groups throughout the United States are having difficulty installing Islam as part of the, school district's curriculum. So this was just the one occasion where they accused CARE of being an extremist Islamic organization, which is not true. CARE is a civil rights affiliated Muslim civil rights group, and it's not an extremist Islamic organization, regardless of what they say. And if you don't believe me, I should invite someone from the Massachusetts CARE organization into the studios here for interview on that particular topic. If CARE is not extremist Islamic organization. Well, that's something to look forward to in the future. So, but don't. We want to. Okay. Here's another. I'm gonna just give you another couple paragraphs. We want to learn. We want to turn them into Muslim individuals. Okay. In a video clip, that was the video clip that we started with, that has recently gone viral. Islamic activist Sharius El-Hattab talked extensively about using public schools to proselytize Islam and convert America to an Islamic nation. It'll never happen, but some Americans will accept Islam, but not all of them. Okay, I guarantee you that. But the thing is that we got to get our education into the minds of the Americans, because they don't exist here in the Western Hemisphere alone. We all exist here. Everyone else from all foreign countries, you can find much or some things about their past, their culture, their history, inculcated in the American educational system, but very little on Islam, and we're here too. So I think it's by right that we should have a place in the American educational arena or system. Okay, but we'll talk about that later on into the year as we progress through the year. But I'd like to right now to remind you that if you didn't get it right during the Martin Luther King holidays, which was, I guess, last week or week before last, so don't fret, because Black History Month is coming up. And you have 28 days to get it right, okay? So, your celebration, Martin Luther King, and all of the Black American heroes, that were walked on the earth of the United States, okay? So I'll put it that way. Well, we have Black American heroes down in South America, too, and in the Caribbean, but we're referring to Black History Month here. So if you didn't get the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday service right, you got another chance to do it in Black History Month. You can celebrate. You got more days to celebrate it. Okay, that's what I meant. That we're referring to. Okay, I had some information on the big ceremony that the NACP is calling again for Martin Luther King, and that's another opportunity for you all to come on out and get your thing right, celebrate Martin Luther King Day, or Martin Luther King the way that he should be celebrated and recognized and memorized. I guess I don't have it here. Unfortunately, it has slipped away from me, but okay, wait a minute, maybe. No, that's not it. That's not okay. Okay, I'm sorry about that, but the NACP is having a big celebration next month. I think it's around the 12th or 13th, and it's in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King, and you're invited to participate. But next time I'm here, I'll make sure I have it. I thought I had made a note of that, but unfortunately I haven't. But okay, I just like I want to move along. We have a little bit of time left before we we have to wind down and just close the broadcast for another week or so, a couple weeks. But this one is something that will help prepare you for what's happening, what's going to happen next month, and that's Black History Month. Okay, so this video will definitely, hopefully, I hope it will get you ready for 28 days of celebrating the great history of black folks in the Western Hemisphere. Okay, okay, here we go. Okay, we'll get back to the highlights of Black history in a moment. Before we leave here, I'd just like to remind you that the Cambridge Winter Farmers Market is open, and it opened on January 5th, and it'll be closing, it'll stay open until April 6, 2019. And the hours of the Cambridge Winter Farmers Market is 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and they're located at the Cambridge Community Center Gymnasium, 5 Calendar Street. So don't you forget that. Write that down. And they accept EBT and SNAP. That's EBT is SNAP is the former new name for the former food stamp program. So if you got a SNAP card, or EBT card, the shutdown didn't shut you out of your SNAP benefits, you can go right down to Cambridge Winners Farmers Market, January 5th to April 6th, 2016, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Cambridge. That's on Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Cambridge Community Center Gymnasium, 5 Calendar Street. And they accept SNAP, once again, EBT SNAP. So for additional information, about farmers markets in Cambridge, you can contact Daniel Wolf at 617-349-4618, or you can email. That's wolf@cambridgema.gov. And I just heard that the Cambridge City Council, well, not this Cambridge City, but the city of Cambridge, is calling for food truck applications. If you want to operate a food truck in Cambridge, or you become a food truck vendor, the application deadline, I think it's February 13th, but you can check that out at the City Hall. So get on up to City Hall quick and soon if you'd like to apply to become a food truck vendor. Okay, and once again, the Open Studio, that's at Cambridge's, CCTV's newsletter, 3 months of activities concerning what's happening inside of the station here at CCTV and outside too. You can come on in and get your copy. You can find the stand outside, maybe the stand. If you don't see them in the stand outside, you come on in at 4:30 a.m. Studios, get your copy of Open Studios. You know, I'm Hasson Rashid, and it's always excellent being here with you. So until next time, I leave you as I came with the Universal Islamic Cordial of Peace in the Arabic language, and that is Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you until next time.